So hello everybody, hello, welcome on in. So today we're ranking Ace Attorney characters. Let me show you. So I have four 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 tier lists up today. I have this one, which is ranking every Ace Attorney character. I think no, wait, never mind. I was gonna say the only ones that aren't here are the Chronicles ones, but that was a lie. The Chronicles characters are right here. So yeah, this is, as far as I know, every single Ace Attorney character, even the ones from the Professor Layton, from the Professor Layton crossover. And I have ranking the prosecutors, which is probably one of the first ones I'm gonna do, because I'm literally only ranking like these first 5 here, because I haven't played. I don't know whether this is Christoph or Clavier, but this person is from, and these other four really are from Apologists, and I haven't played that yet. I haven't even got that in my Steam library. Then we have Culprits, aka the people who actually murdered the murderer. I'm gonna do this first row here. This is just 14 characters, which I feel like, I don't know, it feels like a lot less than 14, but it is actually the first 14 culprits from, the first 14 cases. And then we have the every Ace Attorney one, which is probably going to be the one we do last. And then we have ranking every case from the first trilogy. So yes, this will probably only take an hour. I'm only gonna stream for like an hour. So yeah, so we'll rank. Okay, I'll rank the cases first. So the things are actually very obscure. So yeah, and this is only S, A, B, C, and D. So we'll just use those. Okay, let's work backwards. Let's start with bridge. Let's start with bridge to the turnabout, and then we'll end with, what's this one? I don't remember what it's called. And I'm trying to read it from the obscure text. What's this one called? I don't remember. I can't even see it. I can't see what it's like supposed to be written out. It looks like the blind turnabout, but I know that's not actually the case. Oh no, it's the first turnabout. It says the first turnabout. That is such small writing though, so I can't actually see it. And like, you guys can't even see it on stream. So yeah, you guys can't even see it. So yeah, let's start with bridge to the turnabout. This bridge to the turnabout is probably one of my favorite cases, and I think bridge is an amazing case. I really enjoy bridge to the turnabout, so I'm putting that in S tier right away. Turnabout beginnings. This case, I have issues with this case. Now, it's a fine case. It's a decent case, except for the relationship between Terry Fowles and Dahlia. Is that? Yeah, this is the case. This is the case I'm thinking of. Yeah, Terry Fowles and Dahlia. That is a weird relationship, and I don't like it. But other than that, it's a fine case. I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's a B tier case for me. And then recipe for turnabout. This case, it's not my favorite, but it's not my favorite, but it's also not the worst case. like Turnabout Big Top is like a case that Turnabout Big Top is like probably one of my least favorite cases. So yeah, but for Recipe, I would say that's a C. I'm gonna say with a C tier. You know, that's like C, in the middle of C and B. I'm gonna put it in B tier. I don't know, and Recipe for Turnabout for me is like low B, high C. Did one of my butterflies just, fuck's sake, I just saw it on Twitch Studio that it just fell down. I bought some white tack like literally the other day, but I left it at my mum's. So yeah, I'll need to get that. And put some more white tack on those butterflies. So yeah, Recipe is like in the middle of B and C. So yeah, and then I've got this one, which is, I don't remember this one. Is that stolen? I think that's stolen. The stolen Turnabout. Is that stolen Turnabout? I think that's the stolen Turnabout. Yeah, I think it's the stolen Turnabout. Where do I put this one? Stolen. It's not a very memorable case for me. I know it's the one with Mask Demask. I know that. But the thing is, with this case, I don't know with this case. I don't remember if I liked it or not. I don't remember if I liked it or not, that's the thing. I'm gonna put that in the stolen. I think I'm gonna put it in C. It's not a bad case, it's just, from what I can remember, it's not really my favourite. Like, there were new characters in that case that I did enjoy. Like, I really enjoyed Desiree's character. And Atme was, like, a decent character. Ron Delight was fine. He was okay. He was just meh, in my opinion. So, yeah, Stolen Turnabout gets C. And then Turnabout Memories. That's the one where Phoenix is on trial for murder of Doug Swallows. What do I think of that one? I don't know with Turnabout Memories, to be honest. I didn't like Phoenix's I didn't like how Phoenix was in that episode, in that case. I don't know. I'm gonna just start saying I don't know too about these. I did kind of enjoy it, I guess. I did enjoy playing as Mia. That is always a plus. That's what it's in. And that's a plus in Turnabout Memories and Turnabout Beginnings, that we got to play as Mia and kind of got to know Mia a little bit more. That was very enjoyable. So I think Turnabout Memories gets put. That's in front of. I'm gonna put that in the B, like in front of Beginnings. I have to rank Memories in front of Beginnings. It's just, I have to. Thank you, Island420, for the follow. Welcome on in. Welcome on in. Okay, now on to the Justice for All cases. Farewell My Turnabout. I don't remember this one. I don't remember Farewell. I'm gonna look up, wait, I can just see here. Farewell. Oh wait, that was the Matt and God case. Farewell My Turnabout. I really enjoyed Farewell My Turnabout. That was an enjoyable case for me. I can't believe I don't remember that. That's a pretty solid case. I don't know if I would put it on the same level as Bridge, but it was one of my favorite cases, so that's like a solid A tier. Okay, Turnabout Big Top. That's a D tier. That is a D tier. Like, I didn't like Turnabout Big Top. Like, I found Mo quite annoying. Like, Max and like what was his name? Ben and Trilo. They were weird with Regina, so I didn't like those guys. Like, in the anime, the relationship was more implied than like explicitly canon. Like their relationship was worse in the game than in the anime. Like, I was actually watching some more of the Ace Attorney like retrospective that is like this week's video essay of the week. And when I was watching the Big Top, the Turnabout Big Top like section, Nazim UVA, that's the person who released the video essay. When they were talking about Turnabout Big Top, they mentioned how it was just kind of better in the anime, and kind of listed off reasons why Turnabout Big Top is kind of better in the anime than in the game. And I completely agree. So it is better. I found Mo more annoying. Can we get a video ad? No. Okay. Let me just hide it maybe. But yeah, I found Mo to be quite annoying in that case. Didn't like Max or Ben or Trilo. And yeah, and I don't even remember the victim too well if I'm thinking about it. Like, I know he was the ringmaster, and I know that Max was trying to was discussing with him like, oh, we need to like increase the pay for everyone, but I don't like, but like that's like it from what I can remember of the ringmaster really. So yeah, and then Reunion and Turnabout. That was a pretty good case from what I can remember. That was, if I'm not mistaken, that was the one where Dr. Gray was killed. Was it Dr. Gray? Yeah, it was Dr. Gray. Dr. Gray is probably one of the only victims I can actually like remember the name of. Like, other than like Mia maybe, and then there was Hammond, and then who else was a victim? Mia, Hammond. There was Larry's girlfriend, who I cannot remember the name of. Mia, Hammond, Dr. Gray. And then there was the ringmaster, who I cannot remember the name of. Something Barry. Something Barry. And then there was Misty Faye, aka Elise Dono, in Bridge. That's like it, I think. I mean, 5 out of the 14 cases isn't bad. It's just like, I find it hard to remember the victims in Ace Attorney cases. So yeah, the ringmaster, not great. But Reunion Turnabout, Dr. Gray, actually, I found to be, Dr. Gray was probably one of my more favourite, like, of the not the culprits, the victims. like other than Mia, like I quite liked Dr. Gray. I liked Dr. Gray as like a character, kind of like as with like as much screen time as we got with him, which wasn't much. Like he literally died in the first part of the investigation. Um, but yeah, but yeah. Reunion and Turnabout was an enjoyable case. Yeah, I'm putting it up in A tier with Farewell My Turnabout. And then The Lost Turnabout. The Lost Turnabout for me is a C tier. Didn't too like the amnesia stuff, and like this, I don't know, like it felt that this tutorial case felt too tutorial-y, if that makes any sense. Like this was a tutorial for the second game, so I remember playing it and I was just like, this feels like too much of a tutorial. This feels too much of a tutorial, and I felt like it should have been like less of felt less of a tutorial, or like feel like kind of the same as the first tutorial, which is the first turnabout. Like, but it just didn't. Like, I found the first turnabout and turnabout memories to be better tutorials than the lost turnabout. It just felt like, I don't know. It just felt like they were like trying, because in the Lost Turnabout, Phoenix had lost his memory, right, because of the culprit, the murderer, who I cannot remember the name of. But yeah, I remember, and I felt like the game was just like trying to act like we had lost our memory of the first game as well, which obviously wasn't the case. Now this may be because that this was originally, you know, Game Boy Nintendo games, and you know, Justice for All, the first Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney, and Trials and Tribulations were originally 3 separate games instead of listed as one game on Steam, like one massive game on Steam. So maybe it was just to like catch, you know, players up for in between releases of the games. But also, so I wonder if any of you guys have ever played like the Game Boy version or the DS versions of the Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. What's your like opinions on the Lost Turnabout? Because I feel like it's kind of like, oh, Nick has lost his memory. Here's some help. Here's help with the controls, because you probably have forgotten to. Here's some help with blah, 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 blah. You know, it felt too much like a fresh start when that wasn't the case. Now there probably are people who like started on Justice for All. Like I played Alice Mendoza Returns without even playing the first Alice and the first American McGee Alice, so I kind of know why someone would do that. But also like I feel like you need like a proper like balance between being kind of like a tutorial for new players and then refreshing the controls for the players who have already played the first game. So yeah, and here we are onto the first game. So yeah, so first, Rise from the Ashes. I liked this. I really liked Rise from the Ashes. And while I was watching the retrospective, and when they were talking about, when Nazumi was talking about Rise from the Ashes, she was saying how like this Rise from the Ashes was written and produced and like made and released like after Trials and Tribulations, and it was like then added into the first game. So like it's played, and so Phoenix was acting more like, it was kind of Phoenix's characterization in Rise was much more fitting for a Trials case than like a first game case, which I kind of agree with. I agree with a lot of the things that Nizumi says. But yeah, I don't think for me it like stood out as like too big of an issue for it to be like a huge negative for me. So for this case, this is for Rise from the Ashes. This is probably gonna be at the lower end of A, like higher end of B. Okay, Turnabout Goodbyes. I remember this case being kind of just silly because we had to cross-examine a parrot, and I literally titled one of my streams like, "I'm cross-examining a parrot." So, yeah. Yeah, good, Turnabout Goodbyes. That was a pretty decent case. That's a pretty good case. I would say Turnabout Goodbyes gets like the higher end of B, like lower end of A. Like I do prefer Rise from the Ashes over Turnabout Goodbyes. But also like, and I think with Turnabout Goodbyes, I think it was very much written to be like the last case of the first game. And I do now thinking about it now, I do agree that Rise from the Ashes would have suited better as either either like a standalone case where maybe it was like pointed to its own game, or maybe like another like few, maybe 2 or 3 cases, and maybe made into like an Ace Attorney 3.5. But also I don't think we can really fault Turnabout Goodbyes for, I don't know. Turnabout Goodbyes basically felt like more of a conclusive case than Rise from the Ashes. But I think I liked the kind of story of Rise from the Ashes better than Turnabout Goodbyes. Turnabout Goodbyes, I think that I do prefer a lot more story elements with Rise. And I think with Manfred von Karma's character as well, it was kind of clear that he was like maybe supposed to be the killer from like maybe the start, thinking about it. But also like I get this is supposed to be like the last case, and it was like, oh, you go straight from one Von Karma to another in Justice for All, and that it wasn't originally meant to be, you go from Manfred Von Karma to Edgeworth to going against Franziska Von Karma in Justice for All. So yeah. Turnabout Samurai. I decently like this case. I think with a lot of the first game's cases, I do kind of want to put them all in like B tier, because like a lot of the later cases, especially with Trials and Tribulations, they seem more kind of polished, and like I think with Trials and Tribulations, obviously I've just finished it, so I remember them a lot more than with like the first cases. But with Turnabout Samurai, I remember really enjoying this. I don't think I ever had really any negatives with this case, but it wasn't like massive like positives either. It was just like, it was a decent case. I think think with this case, I didn't like Salmonella. That was a character that I did not like. But that was it. So I think Turnabout Samurai gets... I think it's on the same level, for me at least, it's a C tier and it's on like the same level as the Stolen Turnabout. Like they're good cases, it's just nothing really stands out to me. And Turnabout Sisters. I think I enjoyed Turnabout Sisters. Red, White, not gonna lie, April, May and Red, White, like, don't really appeal to me as much as like A Satanic Culprits, as much as like how am I gonna think of, as much as like Dahlia or Irises, but that's to be expected with such like well-written characters as Dahlia and Iris. I think I only remember Red, White because of like the joke that goes around where basically it's like where a lot of people kind of joke that like Godot can't see Red, White because if you guys don't know, Godot can't actually see red on like white. So for example, in Recipe for Turnabout, he couldn't see the ketchup stain on Maggie's white apron, for example, and he couldn't see the blood that was like that wrote Maya's name on like the white like stone lantern lamp thing. So yeah, I think with Turnabout Sisters, it was a decent starting off point. I think this gets like low B for me, maybe. It's on like it's like same level as like these three, so I'm gonna put it as C tier. C tier. And these two cases, Turnabout Samurai and Turnabout Sisters, are probably, you don't know, these two get these two. You know, these three get B tier. These, you don't know, Stolen Turnabout gets C tier, and Turnabout Sisters, Turnabout Samurai get like low B tier for me. And then the first Turnabout, this is where Larry was our defendant, and he supposedly killed his girlfriend, and it was with the finger statue. I quite liked at the end where I kind of like the sweet moment at the end. From what I can remember, it was the moment between like Phoenix, Mia, and Larry, where it's like, oh, your girlfriend actually did care about you, or did actually care about you because she carried the finger statue clock around her to Paris, or wherever it was she went. I think it was Paris. Yeah, it was Paris. And which shows she really cared about you, and she even changed the clock back, and blah 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 blah. I quite liked that. I think this case is a decent starting off point. So I think this case, I'm gonna put it in between Turnabout Memories and Turnabout Beginnings. So let me put it in between these cases. I'm gonna put it in between Turnabout Memories and Turnabout Beginnings. So let me just download this. I have to log in just to download it. Can I just download it now? Oh wait, I can just download it. Okay, there we go. Okay. So that is my final ranking. Bridge in S tier, Farewell in A, Farewell, Reunion, and Rise in A. Goodbyes, Beginning, Goodbyes, Memories, First. No wait. Goodbyes, Memories, First, Beginnings, Recipe, Sisters and Samurai in B tier, Stolen and Lost in C, and Big Top in D tier. Okay. Next tier list is ranking these first 5 prosecutors. I haven't had experience with these 4, which is, I think that's Clavier, I think. And then this is Payne, which is probably which is probably Winston Payne's like brother or something. I don't know what this person's name is. I know it starts with an N, but I do not know what that name is. It's like Nadra or something. There's so many ads. And then that's Blackwell. I have no clue what their personality is like or what their character development is like, so I'm only gonna be ranking Edgeworth, Franziska, Godot, Winston Payne, and Manfred von Karma. And I love that the picture that they chose for Edgeworth is younger Edgeworth. I think that's what I'm talking about, beginnings. So yeah, love that they used younger Edgeworth for that. Okay, let's actually start off with, let's base it on appearances. Let's start off with Winston Payne. No, never mind. Let's start with Godot. We're gonna do it in the same order we did it for the cases, which is we'll start off with Godot first and end with Payne, because Payne was the first prosecutor we ever dealt with and Godot was the last. So Godot, I want to say that he is, he's like between S tier and A tier for me. I quite enjoyed his character, but I don't know how to explain it, but like I feel like he's like high A for me. He's a decent character. He's just not my favorite prosecutor. But you know who is my favorite prosecutor though? Franziska von Karma. I really enjoyed her character development over Justice for All, mainly in like the latter like 2 cases. Maybe in the last case, not gonna lie, of Justice for All. I also I really started to enjoy her character more in Trials and Tribulations. I found her to be a fun character. I found her to be really like enjoyable, and yeah, I just found her to be an enjoyable character overall. She's probably my favorite prosecutor just because of how much I enjoyed her. She's probably the most memorable prosecutor for me. Next, Manfred von Karma. I think that Manfred von Karma, he was only a prosecutor for 1 case, so we didn't get to see too much of his character like development over his 40-year win streak, over his like 40-year time as a prosecutor, 40-year career as a prosecutor. But I don't think we really needed that, because again, he was only in for 1 case, and he we got to see his kind of influence through Franziska and Edgeworth. So I think Von Karma gets an A. He gets like an A tier. Like I don't think they like, he's not my favorite prosecutor overall, but I don't think that he's like totally the worst. He's like decent. He's like pretty well written. I enjoyed his character while he was like, on screen. So yeah. Next is Edgeworth. We get to see a lot of his character development over the 3 games. Did he show up for Justice for All? I think he showed up for the last case of Justice for All. I think he did, yeah. Which one is that? I can't remember what the case is called now. It just slipped my mind. But it's the one where... What am I talking about? Why do I keep forgetting the name of that? It's the one where... Because Edgeworth showed up in the last case of What am I talking about? Because Franziska gets shot before the first trial. Oh yeah, I know yeah, back to the ACC retrospective by Museum UVA. She kind of pointed out something that I hadn't really noticed, but that both Manfred and Franziska get shot in the same shoulder. Like, they get shot in the same place. If you don't know, not Franziska. You know, let's talk about Franziska. She gets shot in the right shoulder right before trial 1. And Manfred got shot in the right shoulder during the DL6 incident. And the difference between, like, this kind of has, and she kind of noticed, like, there might be some symbolism, so I'm just going to ramble about the symbolism. There kind of is, like, a bit of symbolism with that because, like, they got shot in the same place, and this shows the kind of difference between these two characters, that, Manfred, did not get his bullet wound treated for 10 years, not 40 years, 10 years. He didn't get it treated for 10 years. Oh wait, how many years was it? It was like, I think it was like 16 years since no. I'm gonna say, how many years was it? Because it was like 17 years, I think. But also, statute of limitations, so, but that was mentioned in the Rise from the Ashes. What was the statute of limitations? Ace Attorney statute of limitations. Because I know this was brought up in the first case. 15-year time limit. Let me look up the DL6 incident case. DL6 case study. Oh, it happened like 15 years ago. 15 years before Justice for All. Okay. And it was on the day of the statute of the limitations that it was statute of limitations was going to retire. But yeah, the difference between Manfred and Franziska is that it took Manfred Manfred didn't get his bullet wound treated for 15 years, which is crazy. How did that not get infected? But with Franziska, she had hers treated like straight away. Like literally, like when Edgeworth comes in and is like, Franziska has just been shot, he literally also mentions like straight after that she's in surgery. So it's like the difference between those two characters and kind of like the length like either of them will go for a trial. Like Franziska, I think she was willing to go back and she was willing to do go back and do the trial. And I think she was the prosecutor for... No, she wasn't the prosecutor for the second trial. She came and she gave us the last piece of evidence for the second trial. But yeah, I think she was willing to like come back for the second trial and be like... I think she was willing to come back and prosecute. But obviously she needed like rest and stuff. She did like rest and like was helping Gumshoe get the last pieces of evidence. So yeah, that's kind of just like a little bit of symbolism between those two characters. And I rambled on about those when I was meant to ramble on about Edgeworth. Edgeworth is a pretty good character. I would say he goes in S tier with Franziska. Like, those two are probably like my favorite like prosecutors out of the 5 we've met. But yeah, Edgeworth, I liked his character development over the 3 games, and that's really all I have to say about him. Because with enough like research and stuff, I could probably do like a whole like stream just like rambling on my thoughts about Edgeworth with like a few like notes about him. So yeah, I like his I like kind of when we delved into his like backstory, like, and not just in like the flashback cases. I think it was Turnabout Beginnings, yeah, and not just in like Turnabout Beginnings, in like when the actual flashbacks to like Larry, Nick, and Phoenix, and Larry, Nick, and Edgeworth's like childhood. So yeah, and then we're on to Payne. Payne is Winston Payne. He is the prosecutor for the tutorial trials, and I do not like Payne. I've made this very clear. He is a D-tier character for me. You know, let's put C-tier. He's C-tier. Because it's not all bad. He's good when you're... He's good at... He's, you know, a good character to use for tutorial cases. But it's good at being a losing prosecutor, which isn't something you want to be. You do not want to be a prosecutor that is famed for losing and being easy to defeat. So yeah, you know what? Let's knock him back down to D. So yeah, that's my ranking of these 5 prosecutors that we have played against. Next we have culprits, and then we have characters, which is gonna be so long. Oh my god. I'm probably gonna go like too in depth about each of these characters, and we're only going to go up to Bikini because after that it's just characters from the other games like Apollo Justice, you know, Chronicles, Professor Layton, etc. And probably some characters from that were like introduced in investigations, such as is Kaven in this one? I don't know if the investigations characters are in this one. Oh yeah, these are investigation characters here, I think. I literally just saw, as you can see, Gregory Edgeworth is there. And I think, does Edgeworth come up on here on OG Trilogy? Because he was mentioned character. I just don't know if he's on this part, because he's not really a character in not investigations, in the OG Phoenix Wright trilogy. I can't see him anywhere. And I would expect him to be like around here, because the L6 is mentioned in Farewell, but whatever. Okay. We're gonna start off with... No. Let's do culprits first, and then we can move on to characters. So, Frank Sowett. Okay. He is a C-tier. He is a decent, like, starting character. He is, you know, the guy we, you know, start off with. Like, he's like, we know he's the murderer from the very beginning. We don't really get too much of an insight of his character too much because it's like a short case. And it's like the first one, and it's a tutorial case. And we know he's the murderer already. But yeah, he's decent. He's decent for a starting, for like a character. He's easy to take down. So yeah, Red White. I don't like Red White, so he is going in D. He's on like C tier because he probably did have some good moments. It's just I didn't like him. I just did not like him. D Vasquez. She is like... She's like... also C-tier character. She's like low B, so I'm gonna put her in B. She was a decent character, from what I can remember. She had like a semi-decent motivation, but I don't really remember it too much, so yeah. And then we've got Yanni Yogi, who is also like low B tier character. I didn't like it. I didn't like that he was like, oh, I'm gonna fake amnesia just so these guys will think I'm just a crazy old man and I'm not an actual murderer. You know, I thought that was a little silly, but you know, he's an alright character, and he's a decent character for like, you know, he in Farewell My Turnabout, not Farewell. Was it Farewell? Yeah, it was Farewell. Was it Farewell? I don't remember. Let me look up Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney cases just so I can remember. Wait, no, he was in Turnabout Goodbyes. He's in Goodbyes, I think. But he was in. I think he was okay. I guess. Not too good, not too bad. I guess. Manfred, he's like an A tier. He's like an A tier culprit. I've already said about Manfred, so yeah. Gan, he is also A tier. Like, he will stare down your soul, sure enough. But he's not too bad. He's alright. Like when I was playing through Rise from the Ashes, obviously I hadn't had any prior experience with this case before. But I was like, oh, this is... And I was like accusing people left and right. Like I was accusing Marshall, being like, are you the actual killer? Like, I really loved like the reveal of him being the murderer. And like how he like... Again, Mizumi PA can sum up my thoughts better than I can because I agree with a lot of what she said. But like, I love how he just doesn't have this big like meltdown. I don't remember him having. I don't remember having this big like Ace Attorney culprit meltdown. He was just like, yeah, I did it. You found me out. You have the evidence. I'm going to prison. Yeah. So yeah. This guy, he's a C tier. That just lagged. He is a C tier. Yeah, I don't remember too much of him. No, he's a D tier. He's a D tier. I don't remember anything about him. And then we've got Mimi, who is like a high B. She's not as good as Manfred or Gan, but also she's not as bad as she's not as like, I wouldn't put her as low as D. Vasquez or Yana Yogi. I quite like the twist that she wasn't actually Enid, she was Mimi. And yeah, I quite enjoyed her. Acro, he's like a low B. He's like high C, I guess. He's not as good as Yana Yogi, but not as bad as Sawit. I don't know. Like, I don't know how I feel about Acro. Not gonna lie. I'm just like, yeah, I don't really like him too much. My God, he is an S tier. I enjoyed his character. He is an S tier. I thoroughly enjoyed his character and Farewell My Turnabout. That was Farewell My Turnabout, one of my favorite cases. So, yeah. Dahlia Hawthorne. I don't know whether to put an A or S. She's like a high A, low S. You don't know. Let's put an S tier with... You don't... No. A tier. A tier with Manfred and Gan. I can't put words together, but Dahlia is quite... I find her to be pretty decently well written. And like, other than her and Falls' relationship, she's actually I quite like her. I quite like her, and how she's quite clearly, at least to me, Morgan's daughter. So yeah, and then we have Luke at me. I remember finding the end of this case like a a little bit confusing, not gonna lie, being like, or maybe it was just because I was tired and so I don't remember it too well. So yeah, I'm gonna put at me in like, but I remember decently liking it. I think I want to put him below Yanni Yogi, and then Don Tigre. He's like C character. I'm gonna put him under Acro. I remember liking him and Don Tigre and Acro are like same level for me. Then Godot is also A. So yeah. Think about as they said as much as I want to say about Godot. So yeah. And then we have the character one. I'm just gonna say which tier I'm going to put these in with like a little explanation. Phoenix. I kind of wish we saw a little bit. He's going in A tier. Kind of wish we kind of like spent more time with Phoenix, like looking at his character from another person's point of view, such as with Mia. Such as when we were playing as Mia. I kind of wish we kind of saw what his character was like from another person's perspective. Mia, she's an A-tier character. Sometimes she's just very plot divisive, like she's only used to be like, hey, I'll talk to Maya for you, see where she is. You know, I'm only here to be like, hey, you forgot about this, check the evidence, but she's like, overall, I quite enjoy her. Maya, one of my favorite characters. She's a solid A-tier character for me. She's a solid A-tier. Edgeworth, for me, Maya is, no. Yeah, she's S-tier. Edgeworth, also S-tier. Gumshoe, also S-tier. Gumshoe is a very enjoyable character for me. Larry, he's like a C-tier character for me. I don't like how he kind of devolves from like the previous I don't like how he devolves in and like kind of gets flanderized in the later games. I liked him in the first game, didn't like him as much in Trials. I noticed the biggest difference between the first game and Trials. And then we have the Judge. He can be funny. He's a beta character. We don't really know much of him. We don't really see much of him. We don't see him at all actually outside the courtroom, and I kind of wish we got that, like we did in the Ace Attorney anime with, I don't remember what it's called. There's an anime only case that there wasn't in the first game, which I'm sure I've talked about before. That being which case was it called? Northward. Turnabout. What is this? Oh wait, there's another episode in anime called Hear the Waves Turnabout, and it was basically just like a flashback episode. Wait, what's this? This was kind of more of an introduction to the Faye family before we got to and like kind of a reintroduction to the Faye family. Really more of a there's some cute like kind of anime only episodes that I thoroughly like enjoyed. I enjoyed some of the anime only episodes. If you want, go and watch the anime. I really like Sound the Turnabout. What's that the full name? Standard Turnabout Melody, Northwood Turnabout, and Hear the Waves of Turnabout. Those were extremely enjoyable episodes, and oh my god, there was so many episodes just dedicated to Bridge to the Turnabout, which just shows how much of a long case it is. It goes from 17 to the last episode of season 2, which is episode 23, which is crazy. Anyways, okay, we have Winston Payne. He goes in F, instant F. That was Larry's girlfriend. I can't remember her. She goes in D. You don't know. She goes in C. She was a decent character in that case, from what I can remember. But I don't remember her. I don't remember her name at all. Frank Sarwick, he gets D. Should I put him in D or C? He gets a high D. He's not. He's not the best. He is decent. Okay, let's keep him in D maybe. April May, she was okay, I guess. She goes in C maybe. No, she goes in D. Red White, he goes in C. The Bell Boy, he was there when he was needed. So not much to say on him. C tier. Grossberg, we didn't see him at all. I think we saw him once in Trials. Well, I don't remember seeing him at all in Justice for All. But he was an okay character. I quite enjoyed his character, so I'm gonna put him in high C. Will Powers, we love Will Powers. He was pretty great. He was just a big old softie. I'm putting him in B tier. We have Jack Hammer. We didn't know about. I don't remember. Oh yeah, that was it. No, we didn't know about a lot of. We know a little bit of him, but I don't remember what. So yeah, and then we have. Well, Jack Hammer gets C tier. The kid, which I don't remember his name. Cody. He gets C tier. We have. I don't remember her name. C tier. Wendy Oldbag. She gets E tier. I don't like her character too much, but like, I prefer her over Payne. So yeah. Then we have Salmonella, F tier, straight F tier. D Vasquez, she was pretty decent. She gets. I'm gonna put him B tier. No, C tier. And then Mantak Van Karma, he gets A tier. What? I don't know if it's just me, or do Lotta's eyes look very far apart? How are you? I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing today, Ace? Do Lotta's eyes look really far apart, or is that just me being so used to the HD remaster? I'm okay, a bit down. Oh no. I hope you feel better soon, Ace. Lotta exam starting in like 16 weeks and I haven't started revision. Oh no. I think you should start like doing a bit of revision. Feels like everyone's miles ahead of me though. I mean, if you start maybe a little bit of revision now, like maybe do like A levels. I understand the pain. I understand the pain. Maybe try and doing like an hour or like half an hour a day, and then like increasing the amount of revision you do over the next like few weeks, and then it's like you'll do fine. I'm sure you'll do fine. Just try and do like maybe a half an hour to an hour of revision like a day, and then have you started by January? Okay, so my exams, my assignments were not the same as A levels. I had so my assignments, I had 3 tests in one module, and then I had 1 essay in one of my other modules, and then 2 essays in another one of my modules. One of my essays was 1,500 words, and then my other 2 essays were 1,000 words, like each. So, and then my tests were like 30 multiple choice questions each, and then 1 short answer question each. So my tests were not the same in last year. Oh no, I did not in at A levels I had not started by January. I had done started revision by January. Actually, I did start revising at January. I was revising the whole time through second year. But if it's any like hope, I guess I revised for chemistry like all throughout the year, and I still only got a D in chemistry. So yeah, I mean, for me at least, it depends how much you like the subjects can like influence your revision of it. Because I hated chemistry, but then it was like, which is like, oh, I couldn't be bothered doing a revision. Or I hated doing revision. I hated doing the revision. So like, I think that kind of influenced my grade. And also we did a lot of like group like revision sessions for psychology, which probably influenced my grade in that. I got B in psychology. So yeah. So yeah, just try. So my advice would be, if you want advice, that is, you don't have to say this. Try and maybe do like different types of revision, maybe questions. If you have any essay-based subjects, write up essays. Or what you can do is like type up all you know about a certain subject, about a certain topic in your in like a certain subject, and then like go back to the original notes you make, and then like add those in. Okay, yeah. Yeah, don't worry. I think you'll do fine, Ace. I think you'll do fine. Okay, Lotta. She was okay for me. I quite liked her in Reunion and Turnabout. I think she's like a high C character for me, but she wasn't like, I think she was a pretty decent character. I kind of found it fun that she was just like jump between different photography like based jobs. I love how she just loves photography. She's kind of a little bit of a like, she kind of just spreads shit like kind of false information in a way, because she just like, she doesn't really care. She just sends her photo in Talking About Goodbye. She just sends her, she's like a tabloid photographer or something, and so she just like does not care if the information is like all that accurate. I just feel like I'm way behind, so that's about it. Okay. I mean, if you start revising now, then I think you'll be fine. If you start like kind of revising now, then you'll be fine. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Yanni Yogi, he's like also Psssttt. Hammond, he was the victim in this case. I don't remember him that much, so he goes in detail with, I guess he's like high detail with Sour and April. And then we have Miss Sour the dog. I am putting him in A tier simply because he's a dog and his name is Missile. I think that's his name anyways. If it's not, I'll be so pissed. Yeah, his name is Missile. I find that so funny. He just gets A tier for that. Like, do we know anything of Missile? No. But he gets A tier purely because his name is Missile. So, yeah. And then we have Polly. She was like one of the main like pieces of evidence for Talking About Goodbyes. I quite like Polly. She didn't really do much, but I found her to be quite enjoyable. So she gets B tier. Emma, we love Emma. She's a solid like A tier character. I quite enjoyed her. I know she gets more character development in Apollo Justice. She's like way more present in Apollo Justice than she was in the Phoenix Wright trilogy. Just because she was in one case in she was just in Rise from the Ashes in this case, and I know she's in more like cases in Apollo Justice. But yeah, I quite enjoyed her from what we've seen so far. Lana Skye, I also quite enjoyed her. She was probably one of my more favorite defendants, so she also gets A tier. Gan, he was like a solid A tier as well. And then we have what's his name? We should probably is his brother in this one. No, I don't think his brother is in this roster of characters. It's Mitchell. His name is Mitchell. He was okay for me. I don't think I like him as much as like a lot of the Ace Attorney fandom does. But he was okay. He was pretty decent. Like, I enjoyed some of the moments we had with him. Then we have what's his name? What's her name? Angel Star. She was okay. She was also okay. She was a pretty decent character. She gets C tier. She gets like a high C tier. She was pretty decent. Meekins, I didn't like him. I don't want to put him in D tier, but I also don't want to put him in E tier with Oldbag. I think he gets D tier. Then we have the victim of Rise from the Ashes, who I cannot remember the name of, and we barely know anything about, so I'm going to put him in the C tier. Then we have Joe Dark, which he did like the killings that Emma was a witness to, one of them. And it was of Mitchell's brother is here. He felt very just plot device-y to me. We didn't really get to know him, so he gets like a D tier. Then got Mitchell's brother, who we also don't know too. He's I feel like he's D tier, but I feel like he was also very kind of plot device-y. Then we have Maggie. Then we have Maggie Bird, who is quite a fun character. I quite enjoy her character. She also gets B tier. But then we have Maggie's boyfriend, who gets C tier. I don't really have too much to say on Maggie's boyfriend, to be honest. Like, he was the victim of one of the cases that I do not remember. But yeah, he was okay, I guess. He moved the plot along. Then we have this guy, who I dislike. I don't like. He was the actual murderer in the Lost Turnabout. He gets D tier. Francisca, S tier. S tier for Francisca. Pearl gets a solid A tier. She's just a cute character all around. Morgan, I want to say she gets A tier. She's like a solidly good, like, kind of villain character, as well as Matt and God gets S tier. No, Matt and God gets A tier. You don't know. He gets A tier. Matt and God, probably one of my favorite culprits. Dr. Gray, he was probably the victim we knew like the most about, other than Mia. So he gets a solid B tier. He was like a decent character from what I remember. Then we have Ine and Mimi. In this context, this is Mimi and this is Ine. Oh, it's the other way around. I don't remember, so I'm gonna just group them both together. But no, I think this was Mimi and this was Ine. I'm just gonna group them both together and put them in C tier, because I do not remember which is which. Hottie, do not like him at all. F tier. This, I don't remember who this was, so I'm gonna leave her B for now. I think that was Misty before she was Elise, but I do not remember. Then we have the Big Master. I don't remember him. Much of his character. He gets like high C. So Max, I do not like him. He gets an E. Regina, she was very sheltered, and she didn't deserve half the shit she deserved. So C tier. Mo, instant E. No, F. Max, you don't know. both Max and Mo get Eater. This guy, Ben, gets also Beater. Not Beater, Eater. Eater. Is Trilo in here? No. Trilo is not here. Then we have Money the Monkey, who gets Eater. He's probably one of the better characters of the Tenma Big Top case, which I don't know if I should say that or not, but he was. Acro, he's like C-tier, I guess. No, he's D-tier along with his brother. His brother E-tier. His brother E. This guy, Jack Hammer. Is this Jack Hammer? I think it's Jack Hammer. He gets C-tier. Adrian, we love Adrian. We love Adrian Andrews. She's a solid A-tier character. Shelly the Killer. He was like a pretty good villain. He gets B-tier. And we've got Celeste Impacts. From what I know, she was like a decent character so far. She gets like high C, I guess. Then we've got the Feeny version of Phoenix. Past version of Phoenix. He gets C-tier. I didn't really like him in this case. Like high C, low B, I guess. Didn't really like him in that case. Doug Swallows. I like how I kind of liked him. He was like also high B, high C even. I don't know too much about him, which is why I'm putting him in C. But yeah, I quite liked how he tried to warn Phoenix about Dahlia. That's what I quite liked about him. We have Dahlia herself, who gets a solid B tier. She was a solid villain. She was like quite a solid villain. You don't know. Yeah. A tier, even. A tier. Godot also gets A tier. Rhonda Light, C tier. Mask the Mask, C tier. Look at me in C tier. Desi, instant B tier. Instant B tier. Then we have this guy who I don't remember, so D tier, I guess. The second judge. Do we have the other judge? Yes, we do. This guy was okay, I guess. Don't know too much about him. We only had him for like two cases. He's like a C tier. Don Tigray. I don't like him. He's like a C tier, but like I don't like him in a good way. BRB? Okay. I don't like Don Tigray in a good way. Viola, I feel bad for her, but also C tier. This guy gets an E tier. I don't remember his name. And then we have John Armstrong. He is a D tier for me. I didn't like him too much. Glenelg, we didn't know too much about him, I guess. C tier. Oh wait, he was a gambler, wasn't he? I guess D tier. And then this is Viola's granddad, who is head of the mafia, I guess C. Then we have Lisa Basil, who I was quite nerved by, but I actually quite enjoyed her, so she gets B tier. And then we have Diego Armando. Every time I see him, I'm just like, this guy. I think his name. I always say that. I always think his name is Adrian instead of Diego, which is stupid because we already have an Adrian in terms of Adrian Andrews. But yeah, I always confuse Diego's name for Armando or Adrian even. He gets a B tier. Diego and Godot. Those are two very different characters for me, and yeah, I find it funny how Diego kept calling me a kitten. But yeah, Edgeworth. I've already put Edgeworth. Oh wait, is this Edgeworth in Trials maybe, like later down the line? I'm gonna put him in S-Tech because we love Edgeworth. Terry Fowles. He gets instant eater. Valerie Hawthorne. She was... Didn't get too much character development. She's like... I'm gonna put her in like a C tier as well. Larry. I can't believe this is the first time Larry's been in. I'm gonna put him in I'm gonna put him in Psssttt because I don't like his characterization in Trials, but I also really like his characterization in the first game. He heavily devolved from the first game. And then we have Iris. I don't know, that's probably Misty, Elise, and Bikini. Bikini was enjoyable to see on screen. She's probably a beta character for me. She was enjoyable, but also kind of annoying, but not as annoying as Mo. I'm gonna put in C tier actually. I don't want to put high C. She's like a high C character. She's kind of annoying, but not as annoying as Mo. Then we have Iris, who was also quite an enjoyable character. She goes in B tier. Then we have Elise, and I think that's Misty. I'm gonna put her in C, but I can't remember if that's Misty or not. Then we have Elise, aka Misty, who was quite an enjoyable character. She gets a B tier. She gets a B tier. I quite enjoyed Elise. And that's all the characters I'm going to rank. As you can see, there's a lot of characters in Ace Attorney. Like, and there are some characters that return and do return on these bits just because they do on like in like these areas, just because they have such different characterizations in different games. For example, Phoenix shows up quite a few times. I can spam at least like 3 more times just in this bit, because he was in the Professor Layton crossover. He's been in Apollo Justice with 2 different characterizations, and then Apollo was in here I think 2, 3 or 3 times. And then we have Apollo's mum here twice as well. So there's just like a bunch of characters that appear like multiple times. Like Maya appears multiple times as well, but I'm not gonna rank her twice using her character model from Apollo Justice, or her characterization, or her character profile from Professor Layton, because I haven't played either of those games. Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna download this one actually. See, there we go. So yeah, I'm gonna download that, and then let's go to Twitch, see if there's anyone I want to raid. Spanky Rambles, he is playing DDLC. He is playing DDLC. Let's raid this guy. Let's raid him. I'll just switch over to this side. So yeah, let's raid Spanky Rambles. He's playing DDLC. /raid. There we go. Hope you have enjoyed the stream, and I shall see you guys probably tomorrow. Probably gonna stream tomorrow. So yeah. Bye bye guys. Bye bye.